Welcome back, everyone, to a special edition of Tax Talk Live. We're live here on YouTube and we're live from Thailand. Quite naturally, we've been traveling. Most of you who all been keeping up with us, thank you very much for following us, staying on the journey. And this is a very special episode of Tax Talk Live. And so we want to go ahead and get into it. And today, again, we're going to be having a very special guest that's with us. And I'm going to go ahead at this time and let you all know that we're going to be having Mr. Corey Goings that's going to be joining us live here shortly. So just want to get everyone prepped. We're going to be talking specifically about how you can have your business travel deducted. So how a lot of the things that we're able to do, we're able to deduct those as valid. And when we say valid, I want to make sure we stick on the words that the IRS use. We want to say ordinary and we want to say necessary. And so those are deemed valid business deductions and reasons for traveling. So we want to go ahead and get into it. But I do want to I want to share this really quick. It's a part of why we're here. And, we've actually been a couple of different places. We've been to the Philippines. We've also been to the beautiful country of Singapore. And now we're here in Thailand celebrating the Thai New Year's with the Thai people called Songkran. And so we want to make sure we share a little bit of that with you all. So I'm just going to play this clip really quick, maybe about 10 seconds of it, just to allow you all to get a feel for how things are going here and how it's being celebrated with the water, which we call the world's largest water festival. So, as you can see there, everything from top to bottom, hat, shirt, shoes, everything in between is actually soaking wet. And you actually have to make sure you protect your phones, very similar to what a lot of people were doing in some of the cases and everything like that. So making sure that you protect yourself, you protect your phone, even you have some glasses. A lot of people are having water guns, either buckets of water. But as I said, everything is totally wet and it's really just a good time. And so just wanted to share that with you all. There's a number of clips that we're sharing over on Instagram. So not too much of that, but I want to go ahead and just get back to today's episode and today's message. And so what we're going to be talking about, what I want to share with you all is very specific things, because I want you all to get this and I really want you all to be able to enjoy traveling, but being able to maximize your travel as a business expense, being able to utilize these deductions for a lot of your travel expenses. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead. We're going to jump into what do those travel deductions look like. So when we're talking about travel, we're talking about travel for business purposes. And so that's first and foremost. I think we all know that. I think we all realize that we're not talking about individual travel. So this is for our entrepreneurs, and you're able to deduct this as a business expense. So number one, in terms of valid reasons for deductions. Number one is client meetings. And this is something that we utilize a lot. Quite naturally, having clients throughout the world, client meetings. So any travel expenses that are incurred to meet with clients, negotiate contracts, or even build client relationships. I want you all to get that. Even build client relationships are deductible. This includes costs like the airfare. This also includes costs like the lodging, the car rental, and a portion of those meal expenses as well. So we're staying here at an Airbnb, which is utilized for our lodging. This is the lodging for our team. And so it's not just me traveling, but also we have our videographer. We also have Mr. Corey Goins that's also traveling as a part of the business and the business activity. So what we've done is we've established a very clear business purpose, and we've built to travel around that. So we're going to go ahead and jump clearly into number 2. The second reason to have a valid travel expense, a valid business travel expense that can be deducted. So anytime you're traveling for conferences and trade shows, attending any type of industry conference, trade show, or professional development seminars that are in your field. Again, these are ordinary and necessary for your business. And so these qualify for travel deductions. And these expenses typically include the event registration fees, travel to and from the location, the accommodation, and also, as I mentioned in number 1, a portion of those meals during the travel. So very, very powerful, really quick, 2 very important things I want you all to take advantage of, which is our client meetings and also the conference and the trade shows. Next, number 3, we're going to look at valid reasons to travel. And so when we look at those valid reasons, number 3, we also want to be able to look at business operations. So visiting different business locations, such as branches, such as offices, other operational sites for supervision, for training, or operational assessments can also justify travel expense deductions. And so these are very, very important. And I want to make sure you all are understanding the power behind these. And if you leverage these in your business, then quite naturally, you can take advantage of the same things that we take advantage of in our business, which is totally legal with the IRS. And it's also ordinary and necessary for our business to actually operate. So with that being said, number 3, we're going to be bringing on Mr. Corey Goins. I know Corey has a lot that he'll be able to contribute. And quite naturally, he's been with us throughout the journey. So we're going to be bringing on Corey as a part of the show. Corey wanted to tune in, wanted to go in live with us today. And so very excited to have him whenever he's here to join us. So Corey, can you hear us on your end? Is everything clear? Everything is crystal clear. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Man, it's been an amazing trip. First off, yeah, we're a little bit like drained because there's so much going on. We got the Shonkan Water Festival going on. We got just to be in the presence of my brother Brieon and my other brother Favor. Man, just glad to be here, and I appreciate you having me once again. We got a tax talk. Everybody out there, we appreciate you, and salute and respect everybody. Appreciate y'all.
All right, Corey. As you know, the topic of tax, taxes never stop, and I know this has been an ongoing discussion, quite naturally throughout the trip. Quite naturally, here and there, I'm like, okay, we're gonna do something this way, just to make sure that we're staying on track. And we're keeping taxes in the forefront of our mind. We're keeping taxes throughout all of our actions. And one of those things I want to really touch on here is the importance of record keeping. Record keeping is extremely, extremely important. I want you all to understand documenting your operations, documenting your business activities, documenting the time that's spent on those business activities. And so it's been very, very important. And so, Corey, I know, this is something we've done since we've started the trip. Like, hey, no, don't use this. We got to use this card. Hey, we're going to do this. So I know it's been a lot of maneuvering to make sure that we stay on track. What's your perspective? And how have you seen that so far with this being kind of our first business trip? And, what insight would you be able to provide just in terms of how you've seen things kind of playing out from the business tax perspective, being in the forefront of everything that we do?
I would have to say, just the overall attention to detail to what we're spending our money on. Is it sufficient enough? Is it necessary for us to spend our money on certain things? And when is the adequate time to spend that money? And just overall, just have an understanding of where everything's going. I have to say it's been a great learning experience, and we've been pretty adamant about what to spend money on.
Yes.
But we've got a lot of things done. We've had a lot of fun. It was short lived. I wish we could stay here for 30 more days, but in that amount of time we've gotten a lot of things accomplished and got a lot of productivity, man. So I'm grateful for that. Man, it's just so much to say, man. So much to say. It's
All
been
right.
really relaxing, really relaxing.
Absolutely. Well, definitely appreciate that. As I said, a lot of times you have to make sure you're being very intentional with your actions. You have to make sure you're being very intentional as well with the things that you're doing to make sure that what you're doing, again, it meets those two criteria of ordinary and necessary. These are the words of the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. And so it's very important to make sure that we stay aligned with the IRS regulations in order to be able to do that. So let's go ahead and jump back into number 4. So let me go ahead and jump back into number 4, which talks about sales calls and business development. So when we look at sales call and we look at business development, then quite naturally we want to be in a position to where travel costs related to any sales activities, including visiting potential. These are potential new clients. So anytime we're visiting potential new clients, exploring new markets, or engaging in direct sales activities, these are also often tax deductible. And in addition to the sales activity as well as the business development, I want to go ahead and touch on number 5, which is last, but it's definitely not least. And that is purchasing supplies or conducting research. And I think these are often overlooked when we're talking about business travel expenses to be deducted. So if travel is necessary, in which we deem it necessary and ordinary necessary, to purchase business supplies, equipment. Quite naturally, we brought a number of equipment with us. We have uh, a travel package, and this is all of our travel lighting. This is why we're able to still conduct these videos. This is why we're able to still, uh, go live and do several different things. We have software and a number of other things, but lighting, computers, tablets, so many different gadgets that we have to travel with. So these things are also, expenses that can be deducted. Most of these have already been purchased prior, but there were some additional purchases that we had to make as a result of this trip and as a result of traveling. So there you go. There's 5 expenses, that are valid. And when we say valid, these are also considered ordinary and necessary. Again, stick on those 2 keywords for business travel deductions. And I'll repeat those 5 again. Number 1, client meetings. Number 2, conferences and trade shows. Number 3, business operations. Number 4, sales activity and business development. And number 5, as I said, last but definitely not least, is purchasing supplies or conducting research. And so, with those five being said, I want to make sure that you all get that. Pay close attention to these because they'll help you tremendously. And these again are expenses that our team we write off consistently all the time. And so it's crucial, as I said earlier, it's crucial to make sure you keep detailed records and receipts of all your travel expenses to substantiate. You need to also be in a position to substantiate whenever required the deductions claimed on the business return. So keep very detailed records, credit cards, debit and credit cards from the business accounts. So keep all of these records until after your tax return has been completed, approved, and you've received your refund, or either, if you didn't receive a refund from the IRS, but make sure it's been accepted and approved before you discard anything in regards to your record keeping. Now, additionally, these expenses, again, as I said, ordinary, and I want to break this down for y'all so y'all can get it. When we say ordinary, they must be ordinary. This is common in your field of business. So in the field of business that you're in, these expenses must be common for that field. And so that's what ordinary means. That's the way the IRS views it. Ordinary means common in your field of business. Necessary means appropriate and helpful. So they must be appropriate. They also must be helpful for your business. So necessary and ordinary and directly related to the business activity. So I can guarantee you one thing. If you're able to get all of these matched up to where you have ordinary, necessary expenditures, and they're directly related to the business, I'm 100% sure that you won't have any concern writing off those business travels. Because on the back end of that travel, as Corey said, there are times where we're able to relax, we're able to enjoy the locations that we've been on. But that's after the business has been taken care of. That's after the masterminds. That's after the meeting with the clients. That's after exploring new markets and business development and several other things that we're doing. And so after all of that's done, we're able to enjoy these beautiful locations like we are here in Thailand, enjoying this beautiful location here, this Airbnb, which is hosted by Oliver. We want to say we really appreciated Oliver, a very, very great host. It's a beautiful location here. And so that's what we have, the 5 valid business travel expenses and deduction that you can make sure that you don't leave money on the table. So I want to go ahead and turn it back over to you at this time, Corey, for any insights or any feedback, just in terms of your trip, the experience, and just any insight you may have in general.
Oh man, where do I start? As far as we talk about the trip, let's talk about the trip first of all, and then we'll go into the schematics and logistics and everything. Man, let's talk about the trip. Trip overall, we started in the Philippines as well.
Yes.
Man, the Philippines was absolutely amazing. And the thing I liked about this trip was it was just a whole different dynamic from what I'm used to going on. We used to go on trips with our bros, and we like, yo, we're gonna go over here and have a good time. We're gonna meet lots of people, meet lots of ladies, and like that. This was more serene. I feel like this trip had a purpose. So I strongly advise you find a purpose in every trip that you take. I'm not saying you got to go out here and work, but clearly we love doing this and we love to share, we love to serve people. So when we came out here to these different countries, we were vacationing, but while we're still doing what we love to do, which is the most amazing experience you can understand. And it makes spinning more, I would say, more of a purposeful, thing that we can do. So everything that we did, I thoroughly enjoyed, and I cherished every moment that we did. I don't care if it was riding scooters across the town. It was amazing. You should have saw me. I was like a little kid in the candy store. You know what I'm saying? Like we just taking videos. I'm trying to get Brieon behind me, on the motor scooters, man. It was just we didn't do a whole lot of things that we probably would have wanted to do. But I think this is the experience that we can take home and say, you know what, next time we come, we can plan. Number one thing we talked about on the other show, on the show on Tag the other day, we talked about just knowing how to spend it, what to spend it on, and then also having fun. Don't forget to have fun.
Enjoy the journey.
But simplicity is just as fun, especially when you're doing streaming and helping people with the taxes and how to manage money. It's just an amazing experience. I hope I touched on that. It was so much to say. I'm so discombobulated right now. I can't believe that we're leaving soon. But when it comes to money matters, I thought that it's very efficient to make sure you plan. Make sure you plan pre, intra, and post. We talked about that in the show today.
Absolutely.
Making sure we understand that planning is very efficient when it comes to these type of trips. And I wanted to say, and I have lots of things to correct, correct. I'm sorry, uh, in the journey for when it comes to knowing how to travel and have a good time at the same time. It's just been amazing. It's been amazing, man. I'm well rested. Got so much rest, but yeah, we didn't get a lot of rest. But somehow I still feel rested, and we're just having a good time with my brothers out here, man. I appreciate these moments like this because it's building, something special, I should say. Doing something special. And moving forward, we know what to do and how to do it. And thanks to Brieon, man, just just send us on a whole different journey, and we come together and we all bring our talents and made this trip amazing. I
Yeah,
appreciate that, brother.
definitely, Corey. I would say, you're right on so many perspectives, and the main one I'll pull out of what you said was planning. There was a lot of planning that went into this trip, and I want to go ahead and drop this because when we talk about planning and we're talking about, you know, a frugal lifestyle, I want people to really understand that we're not deprived. I think a lot of people misunderstand the frugal lifestyle and say that, or they'll misinterpret and think you have to deprive yourself. But, we've been hosted very, very well. And I think it's a very good time to give, a good shout out to the Ascot luxury apartments in Makati
Amazing.
and Manila. They really took care of us. 5-star luxury apartments that really treated us well, that hosted us well. Couldn't ask for better service, couldn't ask for anything. Every single thing we needed, they was on it just like that. Also, and then coming here to Thailand, being able to, have a very nice host as well, and Oliver, allowing us to stay in his place. And this is a very, very nice mansion. I'm not going to call it home.
It's a mansion.
It's a mansion.
It's definitely a mini mansion.
And so, it's very nice. And so, we appreciate Oliver as well for hosting it. So these are things that we've done intentionally, planned them, and we've done it on a budget. We've done it smartly. We've done it economical. And so, looking at our overall trip, we looked at traveling, across a number of different countries: Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Dubai, then to the Philippines, then to Singapore, and now here in Thailand. And then we'll be headed back. We have one more stop coming up in the country of Malaysia. And we're looking at under $1,100 for 7 countries. I mean, that took a lot of planning to go into it. And it's very, very important. I want people to understand that there's no one being deprived. We're living well, we're eating well. We're having really good business activities. I mean, we met so many great people, along this trip, whether that was in Dubai, meeting with clients and business relationships in Dubai, getting to the Philippines and meeting a number of people there in the Philippines, and really just being out in public. Because, I mean, these were not planned meetings that we had out on the streets of Manila, throughout the malls and different public areas where we met a number of people. I think the youngest person we met was a 19-year-old. So we met a number of people throughout our business activities and throughout our mission to serve people, as you said, through financial literacy. So very, very important, planning and being intentional. So
I want to point out.
Go ahead, Corey.
I want to point out something about Brieon. Brieon made me aware of this before we started the trip. Actually, but I didn't become more aware of it until we actually started traveling. Was the use of layover time. The use of layover time made this trip just a transition from one country to the next, and we meeting people. And because I'm a streamer, he's, as you know, and Brieon does this thing. We meet people through streaming, podcasting, all kinds of things. So, just the transition of, and they can meet people along the way.
Yeah.
And they know our travel intentions because we're very transparent about it. So when we get to these countries, they're like, "Hey, you want to be in my country? Oh, okay. Well, I want to meet you. I want to meet you." And it was absolutely amazing. We met a young lady that helped us along our way and just treated us and hosted us
Yeah.
in her country of Singapore. And it was absolutely amazing to make the transition to Thailand
Yes.
because it was like, I think if we didn't have that transition, it would have been just as much of a good trip, but it probably would have been a little bit of a void there.
Yeah.
So just to goes to tell you that networking and relationships with people are the most important thing, more than the money
Yes.
of planning. We planned it, and when we went on our plan, those plans went along, and people were able to arrive inside of our plans as well. Say,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
this is on along the way. When, you're on your way to this country, but since you're stopping in my country, I want to help you and host you in my country for the time you're here. And it was absolutely amazing. I have to say, man, I felt this trip was probably one of my top three best trips that I've ever been on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely been a beautiful trip, and very beautiful people, very warm people. My first time to the Philippines and being received very well there, being hosted very well there in the Philippines as well, and just being treated with the utmost respect, just being treated, as a human being, just being treated, in those business settings and environments as a businessman, as an entrepreneur. Um, that really, hat goes off to them, for doing that. And then, as you said, being able to experience Singapore, being able to experience Singaporean culture, and being able to see a slice of Singapore, it actually gives you the insight to where now you're looking in the future. These are places we want to expand. These are places we want to continue to network. These are places we want to continue to do business. These are places where we want to continue to serve people, because quite naturally, financial literacy, believe it or not, is universal, ladies and gentlemen. It's universal and it spreads across. We've talked to so many people along this journey, that are interested in starting a business, looking to start investments, need help with budgeting, learning how to increase their salary, so many different things. And this is why we travel, as you said, and this is why you and I are connected, because we do believe in serving people with the information, knowledge, and experiences that we do have. So we're gonna wrap up Tax Talk live in Thailand.
Thailand.
Um, this is big. This is a moment that we'll definitely cherish. This has been our first Tax Talk live internationally, and it just so happened where it landed in Thailand, and in this beautiful location, in this beautiful country, celebrating the Thai New Year, celebrating Songkran 2024. It's just been a blast, and as you said, we're gonna hate to leave, but quite naturally, we must continue the journey.
Absolutely.
But
I hate it right now.
any final words, any final thoughts that you'd like to share, Corey, before we close everything out?
Biggest message: live life right now.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Plan it, but don't wait. Don't think. I know a lot of us, the last 2 to 6 years, I should say, when it comes to COVID and all that stuff,
Uh-huh.
we've all become accustomed to living inside of our homes and being like kind of nomadic and kind of like be standoffish. And we've kind of taken our time back and say, you know what, I'm going to be selfish again. It's time to get back outside, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean outside. It's time for us to smell this beautiful air and enjoy the beautiful earth that we live in. It's time for us to embrace our loved ones once again and forgive those who may have wronged us in so many different ways. All that is attached to freedom. You keep holding on to those things, it's never going to allow you to be free. So, in order to be fully free, you got to be soulfully free, mentally free, physically free, and one more, as my good friend Brieon would say, financially free. Okay? In order to have full fledged on freedom, you got to be understand all those and try to balance those things as best as you can. But most of all, and always forgive yourself.
Yeah. Very powerful words. Appreciate that, Corey. As I said, always, it's always a pleasure to have you here on Tax Talk Live, and definitely want you to keep coming. Before we get out of here, I just want to remind you all on two things. Number one, Tax Talk Premium. Don't forget to go ahead and sign up for Tax Talk Premium now. Tax Talk Premium is going to help you level up with your individual income tax or either your business income tax or either both. And so making sure that you hit the link that's provided here to go ahead and sign up now. Tax Talk Premium is $9.99 per month or $99.99 annually for the subscription. You won't find reputable, dependable, but also result based information about how to improve your business and personal taxes. You won't find more reputable information for a lower price point. And again, this is only a limited time only. So when all of the slots are filled up, they're gone. There's no more slots at that price point. And so go ahead and act now. And last but not least, I want to encourage you all, just to piggyback off of what Corey said, I want to encourage you all to go ahead and make sure you take advantage of traveling. You make sure you book that trip, you book that flight, you book that cruise. Go ahead and start traveling. And even if your first travel is not a business travel, make that your goal to start making your travels more business focused and business oriented. When you travel and you're networking, it doesn't have to be international. Start wherever you are. That's the most important thing, is starting where you are. And then you can build your way up. So until the next time, we'll see you all next week. Same time, same place. Tax Talk Live, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. And we'll see you in the next one.